Hey everyone, this is some nerdy guy back again with another video, and today's video is something a little different. Um, Something that's um, not something that I want to share about, but not in the circumstance that I feel like I want to share about this stuff. Um, uh, this channel has primarily been like video game related. I'm sure most of you that watch that know that. I usually do like pickup videos and game collection videos and things like that. Mostly pickup videos. I've been like heavily criticized for that. Sorry, I just like buying games. I don't really know what else to say about that. um, but I do have other interests and like comic books. You can kind of see behind me some of my Marvel action figures right there. I really like Marvel horror movies. Um, you know, music, things like that. One of the things that I absolutely love is Power Rangers. And if you are in any part of the community for Power Rangers, you probably have heard this last week that Jason David Frank passed away. And if you don't know who Jason David Frank is, he played Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger, which was like every kid's favorite Ranger. And um, so it just, it really hit a lot of people hard, including myself. I really looked up to him. I got to meet him, which was I was fortunate enough to be able to meet him before his, untimely passing. But I didn't want to get like super sappy about, all that. I kind of wanted this to still be more of a positive thing and just kind of share the, the love that he had for his fans, because I was definitely a big fan and he treated me just the best, like awesomely. It's just he's no he will I don't I'm trying to find words. There's nobody else like him. There's a lot of nice people that have fame, like there's actors and comic book artists that are decent people, but he's was just on another level. He just really went out of his way for his fans always. It didn't matter who you were, didn't matter how long he had to stay like over his like signing time, because like if you haven't been to a Comic-Con, there's like windows if you need to be at their table at this time to get your signature. He would stay for hours and hours on end to make sure he met every single person, to make sure everybody got their time to meet him. And he was just super great guy, in my opinion. I know everybody has haters, but fuck the haters. Like he was such a good dude. So this wasn't. I don't want to like make this. Oh, I'm bragging because I got to meet him. Blah blah blah. But these are just things that were sentimental to me, and I kind of wanted to share them with other people. This is just my collection of Rangers that he has been. Um, Funny enough, the Green Ranger is not my favorite. One of my favorites, but my favorite Ranger that he ever was this one here, and that is the Red Zeo Ranger. And that is mainly because red is my favorite color, so I'm a little biased. But when it comes to his character, Tommy Oliver has always been my absolute favorite character as a Ranger, like a Power Ranger, because he's like the legacy character. He's been in so many different seasons. So many different iterations of his character and getting new powers and all this cool stuff. Like Dino Thunder, whenever that came out, which they haven't made a figure for that yet. This is the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, and they're like the Marvel Legends figures, but obviously Power Rangers. They're like a 6-inch scale, and they're super like articulated, so you can like pose them and have them doing the jumping and the all that stuff. So there's that. So we have the Red Zeo Ranger, and I have a couple other Lightning Collection figures. These all, I just took them right off my shelf. I have like a whole shelf for Power Ranger stuff. Here's Lord Draken, which is really cool. He must have dropped his Dragon Dagger on the shelf somewhere because it is not in there. I think it's supposed to come with a Saba sword as well. And to follow up with that, there's the White Ranger with Saba, and a lot of these figures come with these cool like energy blast things to give them effect. But yeah, these figures are super detailed. I really like them. I mean, as detailed as they can be for $20. I mean, can't really complain that much. And then here is the Green Ranger with his Dragon Dagger. doing the little jingle. I know he's supposed to hold it with two hands technically, but just, man, it's making me kind of sad looking at all this stuff. But it's like reminiscing. It's still happy, like just all the memories I have watching Power Rangers and playing with the toys and just having my own like stories I would make up about Power Rangers and things like that. So next thing, this one was really cool. It is a re-release of the original Green Ranger, the flip head. What do they even call it? Do they automorphin Power Ranger figure? They had like a little thing on the belt here, and it would have the Tommy Oliver head or whoever's head, whichever character you had, and you press on it, and it would flip his head to make him morph into the Power Ranger, which is really cool. So there's that. And then I'm trying to think of which things to go with first. I'm gonna save some of the more sentimental stuff for last. So these two things are probably like the most like cool. Most people would find them to be the coolest thing, and they are really cool. The first one being the Dragon Dagger itself. This thing, I found it for like less than $50 at like a trade-in, like buy-sell trade shop. It was already open. The box is a little beat up, but that does not bother me because I wanted to open it and play with it, and it's really cool. I guess I'll take it out of the box here for a second just to kind of show it. Apparently it has 24 karat gold, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I mean, that's not the reason I want it. I'm not gonna melt down the gold or anything, but it's just really cool. And like the little keys, you can actually press them. Trying to see, it's the switch at, yeah, it actually makes the noises, of course. And then if you, I think, so this is like the flute part, because he's supposed to blow into it, even though he's wearing a helmet. That's like the main like big criticism about Power Rangers. Like, how'd you do that if he's wearing a helmet? Who cares? It was cool. He summoned a dragon from the ocean. Like, come on. But I think it's the middle one. It starts playing the theme song. Like, come on, that's pretty cool. Just imagine being a kid and having one of these, and the Power Ranger theme song is playing as you're like outside, just ripping into the putties outside, the invisible, not actually there putties. So yeah, super cool. I love that. And then the other thing, sorry, I'm trying to make sure I put this in the box the right way. And the other thing, what would the Dragon Dagger be without the Green Ranger Power Morpher? Just so cool. This is what really got me back into collecting Power Ranger stuff, because I kind of took like a hiatus from, I mean, I whenever you're growing up, like you have different phases of different stuff that you're into, and then you get out of it, and then you kind of get back into it. It was like beginning of high school, I believe my friend Josh started watching Power Rangers again on Netflix, and I was like, oh yeah, I love Power Rangers. Like I kind of want to, and I just like, I was just into it, just like full blown back into it. Loved Power Rangers, and one of the voice crack, and one of the things I really wanted to start collecting were the Morphers. I just thought the Morphers were one of the coolest things, seeing like all the different sequences of how they morph and stuff like that. And I have a handful. And the Mighty Morphin one isn't even my favorite. If I had to pick a favorite, it probably would either be the In Space Morpher, because it has like a phone on it. They like flip it open and they dial a number and stuff. It's between that one and the Zeo one, just because I really like Zeo. So because it's a two-piece, it has two wristbands. Usually it's like a buckle or one wristband, or in one of the seasons it's a freaking gun. But I thought it was cool that they had two wristbands that you had to like click them together. I was like, okay, that's really cool. I like that. But yeah, of course the Green Ranger Morpher is probably the most iconic. So I'm not going to take this one out of the box right now, just because there's like the coins and everything. I don't want to mess all that up. So there it is. This is actually a re-release of the Green Ranger Morpher. They had a like Toys R Us exclusive one when they did the first run or whatever, that had 24 karat gold and all blah blah blah. This doesn't have that. This is just die cast metal, which is perfectly fine with me. I don't care about that. So Yeah, I didn't have this at the time when I met him, but I really wish I could have got this box signed. But that's okay because I have other stuff which I will get to. So those are like the coolest pieces, or some of the coolest pieces, and then these are all the things that I got signed, which are to me way cooler. I like visually those were like the cool things because that's what everybody likes: the dragon dagger, the morpher. I wish I had the helmet. I don't have his helmet. Any of um, the White Ranger or the Green Ranger one, but these are the few things that I got signed by him. And this one was these were before the Lightning Collection figures came out. They were called like I think it was just called Power Rangers Legacy figures, but this is the White Ranger. I really wasn't a big fan of these, but I kept this one in the box because I knew that the con that I was going to meet him at was coming up, and I wanted something that was in the box to get signed. So there's that. You can see kind of see his signature. There's a little bit of a glare, but there it is. There's his signature, and he wrote Tommy on it because I'm Tommy Oliver. So there's that. And then this, I remember everybody was going crazy about these when they first came out, and I was trying to find um, a specific one, and I couldn't get it. But this one was close enough. Somebody on Instagram was selling it, and I was like, okay, I'll buy it. But it was for Shattered Grid, the Power Ranger comic book, and they had like 20 different variants of just all the Rangers. There was ones with the Rangers holding their helmet, which is the one I wanted. I wanted the green and the red. And they had ones that were being held by Lord Draken, and they're all like the visors all shattered and everything, which those ones were really cool. But this is the one I ended up finding on Instagram. I bought it off a guy. It's the Green Ranger holding the Sword of Darkness, and you can see the dragon dagger there. But super super cool, and got that signed by him too. It says Tommy right there, and then there's the Jason David Frank logo. Um, it's kind of disheartening to see, like looking at this stuff right now. I went on eBay because I was kind of trying to get a helmet because I've been meaning to, and I just haven't been able to find one because I didn't want to buy one on eBay, and I was like, I'm just curious, so I just typed in Green Ranger, and just like the amount of things that people like newly listed stuff that is all just stuff that's signed by him just because people want to make a quick buck because he died. And it's just like, get your money, do what you want. Like I've had this argument, conversation, whatever, numerous times about just appreciating the stuff that you have instead of just making a quick buck off of it. I don't know. If you're a real I don't want to sound like I'm gatekeeping, but like if you're a true fan of the person, you're a true fan of what he did in the character and blah blah blah, like why would you sell that stuff just because he died and you can make a good decent chunk of money? Like I don't know, that just seems wrong to me. um which everybody's financial situations are different, so if you're really hard on money and you really needed it, and like everybody's situation is different, but certain things you can just kind of tell. Like you just know that it's just like, oh, you're just trying to make buku bucks off of whoever that died. I don't know. Same kind of thing happened with like Chester Bennington when he died and stuff like that. I mean, it just happens with any celebrity death, honestly. And it's just kind of, I don't know, just kind of makes me think. It's like, why do people do that? But to each their own. And then this one was a very sentimental one to me. This was the first Power Ranger VHS tape I ever got, and it was the White Ranger uh, VHS tape. This was like his first appearance. I mean, it's a re-release, of course, because it's got like the newer Power Rangers logo. But this was like how Tommy got the powers and everything. And it was such a cool episode because, when you're a little kid, you don't think about it. And they were trying to keep it a secret, like who's the new White Ranger? Who is it? And it turns out to be Tommy, because they literally in the episode, they're just like, oh yeah, Tommy's coming back home. And then they find out about this White Ranger that Zordon and Alpha are making. Like, who could it be? Why would they replace Tommy? Well, of course it was just gonna be him. Like, he's just gonna come back. Like, I don't know. I just really liked that. But this one was personalized to me. My name is Tyler. My name is not actually some nerdy guy, unfortunately. But yeah, there's my name. He's super cool. Um, yeah, this one was a really sentimental one. Here's the back, in case you cared. It's got the other 5 Rangers on there. But yeah, I remember as a kid, I went to Toys R Us. So you're probably also wondering, some of the people who watch this are like, aren't you a little young for like for this version of Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? I got hand me down. The first season I ever saw was Time Force, which is arguably my favorite. It's Zeo, Mighty Morphin, and Time Force. Those are my top 3. But I got hand me down the original Rangers. My sister used to take dance classes, and one of the girls that went there had an older brother, and he was getting out of Power Rangers, and I was just getting into it. So he gave me all of his Power Ranger toys. I got a red Power Ranger costume. It was great. And then I was with my mom when I was little and found these VHS tapes. I got the White Ranger one, the Pink Ranger one, and the Blue Ranger one. So I had some original episodes to watch and everything. And sometimes they would play reruns on TV, things like that. So I definitely got my fill of the original Power Rangers, even though I wasn't growing up at the time that it was airing. Who cares? Like, I don't know. People try to be like, you're too young. How do you Power Rangers? Because I love Power Rangers. Leave me alone. But yeah, there's that. So, and this is the last thing. These are the last 2 things, and to me, these are the 2 biggest things, the most sentimental things that I got, and that is these 2 guys. This is the original Green Ranger figure. This is one of those automorphin, whatever. You see the Tommy head, and then, so these were the ones that were hand-me-down to me as a kid, and I played with them a lot. And you're probably wondering, like, why are these the ones that are the most sentimental? And it's because he signed them for free. Not a lot of people would do that. So, damn. But when I was at the convention, I was going up for my turn to get all my stuff signed, and I was wearing a red flannel, and I had my red Mighty Morphin Power Rangers shirt on. I had like the Red Ranger logo, or like the Tyrannosaurus, whatever, with the diamonds, all that shit. And I had those 2 figures hanging out of my shirt pocket. And when I went up there, JDF had his phone out. And I was like, no way. He filmed me. He was filming me because I had these. I was looking like a freaking idiot having these hanging out of my shirt. And he was signing my stuff. I was talking to him. I was trying not to geek out. I was like trying so hard not to be too starstruck, but it was not working. And he just turns to me and he's like, "Want me to sign those for you?" And I was like, "Oh no, I didn't pay you to get these signed. Just this stuff. There's this stuff." And he's like, "No, take them out of your pocket. I'll sign them for you. No problem." It just, one of those things that most people would not do. Like, a lot of people, it's like, if they didn't get the money for those, they're just like, "Oh, well, I'm not gonna take the time to do that." But he, like I said, he was a different guy. So these are super special to me. So I know it's kind of hard to tell that it's his signature, but I mean, I'm on his vlog, so I have the evidence that I was there, like the certificate of authenticity. But you know, I was there, and I know he did it, so that's the only proof I need, because there's no way in hell I'm ever getting rid of these. So, yeah. So this is, like I said, Zeo Red was always my favorite. So very cool that I got to have this one signed. And then, of course, the most iconic Green Ranger. And this was, like I said, this was the one that I used to play with all the time. This was it. I remember I had all 6 Rangers. I didn't have White Ranger, but I even took these to Florida with me. And the 2 most important ones were this and the red one. And unfortunately, I lost the red one in Florida when I was like 3 years old. And I never forgave myself for that. I was super upset, but at least I still had this guy. And it led me all the way through this timeline, and I got to have him signed by the man himself. So I'm very grateful that I got to meet him. So before I start bawling my eyes out, if you like Power Rangers 2, just comment. If you've met Jason David Frank too, just, you know, like if anybody wanted to, you know, share their memories with him too, feel free. Or just, you know, like your memories of Power Rangers, watching it on TV, if that's, you know, or even the Power Rangers video games. I have a lot of Power Ranger video games too. I got the Battle for the Grid. I got the beat 'em up one that the like the pixelated one that they did a couple years ago. Never got a physical release. Stuff like that. And yeah, I really wanted to do some kind of video for that for JDF. So if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until the next video, see ya.